Okay, this is us open the door with me Arvin and this is my friend.
Fatul Falkia.
For this episode, we will talk about working abroad experiences boost career success. With our guest star, please introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Arindra Raisa Pratama. I work as a data scientist in a company named Kajima in Japan.
I'm Brahma. I'm working in Alibaba company from China.
And I'm Zafran. I'm working as an esport analyst in UK.
Okay, so there is profile from our guest star. I hope that our all listener that can gain an insight from this podcast.
Okay. So you guys working abroad, okay? What makes you want to work abroad? The reason. Okay, maybe first Arendra. Arendra.
For me personally, I'm chasing for the bigger salaries in Japan compared to Indonesia. Because in Japan, the company will give you more salaries compared to working the same job, the same hours in Indonesia.
Yes.
Okay, nice answer from Arendra. Okay, next Brahma.
For me, same like Arendra is for salary is big. You know, Alibaba is top 5 or maybe top 10 in the world that will be bring every about delivering everything that you want to do, like in Indonesia like Tokopedia or Shopee. Alibaba is delivering everything that you want to do it.
And worldwide.
Yes.
Next Zafran.
For me personally, because I like esport very much and I want to be an esport analyst working in UK helps me to build that career because in UK esport is quite a big industry. Not like in Indonesia. I still believe that esport in Indonesia is not as big as in UK. So yeah, I moved to UK to pursue my career as an esport analyst because the scene there is much bigger in Indonesia
Okay.
and also they give more salary, just like Arendra
Yeah.
opinion. Basically, I think across all of us, salary is the main reason why we work abroad because we know in Indonesia the salary is not too good.
Okay. I agree with you. The
Yeah.
salary is some main reason
Yeah.
for us for our career. Yeah. Okay. And I'm curious, like all of you was abroad to our country that the culture is different with us in Indonesia. Like maybe if in Indonesia you can like eat nasi padang, that maybe in UK or Japan or China will very difficult to find it. Like how you face that cultural differences, not just about food, maybe about the maybe we can say culture shock. What is your culture shock in your abroad and how you face it?
You mentioned food. One of the cultural shocks that I have in Japan is that a lot of people in there are not Muslims, right?
Yes.
They eat porks, and there's a lot of restaurants that offer porks, but they don't offer halal foods in it. So it was quite difficult to find something that I can eat as a Muslim. So
Yes.
I have to get some friends who are Muslim to recommend me some place who can offer some halal food like just chickens or beef or maybe just vegans menu.
Okay.
And yeah, that was pretty difficult, but I managed to get through.
Yeah. And how about the how your life, not just with food, like how you interact with all people that maybe have different how we say daily living with Indo?
The daily life in Japan and Indonesia is not actually that much different. The people there is almost as kind and respectful as people in Indonesia here,
Yeah.
especially people
Yeah.
from the village.
Yes.
And I really like that.
I agree that Asian value.
Oh yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
I see it a lot in like movies and YouTube video. Japanese people is really kind.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can confirm that.
Okay. Okay, but how in Chinese?
In China, it's very difficult. Like Indonesia is discipline is like, oh, you can do whatever or nothing. But in China, discipline is the spirit that you must have in their life. If you don't do discipline, you can do for a living in China.
Oh yeah.
Discipline.
Like-
yes.
Maybe all of people in China is workaholic. Maybe we can say. that.
Yes,
Oh yes.
workaholic,
Yes.
yeah.
I know.
See that.
Okay, but in UK, how?
For me, personally, the main cultural shock that I got is food.
Okay.
Same as Arendra, because
Okay.
in London especially, food there is very bland. You
Yes.
cannot taste anything
Yes,
there.
yes, yes.
There is no seasoning
Yes.
there. So yeah, it's very
Yeah.
hard to find tasteful food
Okay,
in
yeah.
London. So almost every day I cook myself.
Okay.
Personally, I like to cook. I love to cook. I watch a lot of food, like cooking video on YouTube, so it helps me to make food for myself. And another culture shock that I found is people there sometimes doesn't like to interact with a lot of people.
Okay.
They like to just do their own thing.
Yeah.
They don't minding anyone else businesses.
Okay.
In Indonesia, when you met someone, sometimes you greet them like maybe say excuse me or
Yes.
something like that. In London, it's not like that, so it's kind of difficult for me that I'm a very social person. I like
Yes.
to talk to a lot
Okay,
of people, and in London, I felt like I was alone in the country because everyone there was just like minding their own business.
Yeah.
It's very hard for me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
introvert. It's like
More like individual people.
yeah.
Almost. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so fun guys ya working abroad. So if I want to work abroad, what should I prepare?
Mm.
What is your advice for me?
An advice that I can give you if you want to live abroad is pretty much just do your own research, like what is the culture like there, how can you live day to day in there,
Yeah.
maybe the food too, like how can you get by, how the food price are, can you really afford it, where can you live. There's a lot of research that you must do before you can try to work abroad.
Hmm.
You just randomly go to a random country and then try to work there, it's gonna be really difficult.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that, Andrea. First of all, I think you need to find a country that fits to your daily life.
Okay.
You cannot just pick a random country that you think you can live there,
Mm.
because living in another country is a whole different thing. So you need to prepare yourself. You need to do your own research, just like Arendra said. And my advice for people that want to work abroad is don't learn the language first. You need to learn the culture first, because right now you can use like just basic English to live
Okay.
abroad, but the cultural is very different. So you need to learn the culture first.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, how about-
Like to me, but some adding to the advice, I think you must make the culture is a forbidden thing that you can do what you want, but you can do what you want.
Okay.
How you?
Like in China,
Yes.
maybe you can speak loudly, but not too much. But I think that will make disturbing people that
Okay.
make people like making side eyes on you that will like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
I understand about that. Okay.
I have a question, but Arendra only. Okay. In Japan, someone said, if people want to go to Japan, they need to learn Japanese.
Japanese, yeah.
Learn Japanese. Because the local people in Japan don't use English. Is that right?
Yeah, that's actually true. A lot of people, a lot of the citizens of Japanese doesn't actually learn English that much. The local people usually doesn't know English, so if you come there with just English and no Japanese at all, it's gonna be really hard. You're gonna have to pull up your phone and use the translator all the time, which is inconvenient, but you can get by, but it's really inconvenient. It's really recommended if you can learn some Japanese, so at least you can get by day to day a lot easier.
But I think nowadays in some big companies in Japan, I think they use English a lot. Huh?
Yeah, in the companies, yeah, definitely. But the thing is that in your
In
day to day
social life.
life, you will meet a lot more people who are
Yeah.
that modern. Let's say the local people are not usually gonna learn English, especially
Yeah,
people who
local
are
people.
already old. And yeah, it's you
Yeah,
really
yeah,
have to learn
yeah.
Japanese at least a little bit.
Maybe for me it is for the Japanese language. I think Chinese more complex.
Yes, I do agree. I do
Easier,
agree.
easier.
I do agree. Mandarin is a lot complex than Japanese.
Every single the word that you write in hand is very completely different.
Also, intonation
Yes.
makes it different.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's traditional in Mandarin, just complexity, but you will learn Japanese language is more easier than Chinese.
Okay. I understand.
Do you have question? Last question maybe?
I think it's enough for me.
That's all the question. So maybe you guys want to give us advice for abroad or maybe study abroad.
My advice, if you really want to go abroad, go to another country, I think right now is the best moment, is the best time to go, because in Indonesia is not working in Indonesia is not really, I think it's not really worth it anymore. You need to go outside of Indonesia to get like a fair paying job,
Yeah.
because I do feel working in Indonesia is first of all a lot harder
Yeah.
and doesn't pay you a lot. You cannot be a successful person by just working normally in Indonesia. You need to be like a workaholic, like some crazy maniac to be a successful person
Yes.
as a worker in Indonesia. So I do encourage people that want to go abroad, working abroad, or maybe just studying abroad. Yeah, you can just do it. That there's a lot of like scholarship that can help you studying and then go working after that. So take your chance. Don't be afraid, because why not? You have nothing to lose here.
Yeah. And the competition in Indo for get work is
Yeah, it's a lot harder. It's really hard.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a lot
really
harder. We doesn't have that many jobs that the company offer, but every year there's a lot more students. There's a lot more, it's a lot more person that want to work, but the job doesn't. The job is not there. There's no job, but a lot of people want to work.
Okay.
For me, another advice that I can give is that you have to lower your ego. There's a lot of things that you don't know and that you have to learn really patiently. Especially if you are going to a country like Japan, like myself, you have to really learn their language to get by. And it doesn't take a short time. You can just learn Japanese in a day. You need personally, I learned Japanese for 2 years before going there. It was pretty hard, but with enough patience and work, you can do it. You can make it through.
Preparation.
Yeah, preparation.
I get it.
For me, the advice is if you have the time to spend like scrolling or spend time, you must do something the research that new about technologies or anything else that you can learn something new. In China, you will compete with people that maniacally the maniac. That's very very hard.
Okay, I think it's enough for this episode. I hope all of you can get insight from this episode.
Okay, so that's all guys. Thank you for watching. This is our podcast. Open the door. Bye bye.
Bye bye.